All right, you are live and the comments are there. All right.
All
Happy
right.
Monday. I'm going to get interviewed today. So basically if you pin on, on your Instagram, go to at Stranger Comics YouTube Live, and folks should be able to then go to the at Stranger Comics YouTube Live um, to check us out.
All right. Let's do it.
A lot of people are going to be like, I'm going to try and prop this
Ah,
phone so I'm not. Wow, look at that. It's just
hi guys. Hello, hello, hello.
there
You
we
guys
go.
go to YouTube.
We should have just done this on Instagram. I have a feeling, right?
No, I think it'll be okay.
Woo, boiling. Taking off this thing. All right. Um,
All right. Yay. We are finally here. We've been talking about this for a couple of months now, so it's nice to finally be here. I think first we'll start off with like introductions because I know you have some of your people, I have some of my people, so we'll go ahead and get that out the way. So I am Destiny Brown. Hello, Sunflower Samurai, cosplayer,
burp, burp, burp,
influencer, social media marketing, all the fun things, and Niobe cosplayer as of last
Yay!
year.
Woo.
So that's awesome. And we have Sebastian Jones here with us. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Um, yeah, I'm the production assistant and the president and the general sweeper of the floors at Stranger Comics. And yeah, folks, you might see me out the odd convention here and now and again yelling, "Come into the booth and buy my shit." But yeah, no, I'm president of Stranger Comics, known for creating mostly known for creating the Niobe comic series. Yeah.
Yes, super exciting. And are you prepared to do your pitch today?
Oh my goodness, I
Are you
am.
prepared? Are you
You know, I,
prepared?
I am. I don't have all of the hardcovers or trade paperbacks because I'm on the road, but
Absolutely.
I do have.
Even if you don't want to go through the whole thing, just like a little something, because I know that I was introduced to it through Niobe, who is kind of like your main character, but I think
Absolutely.
that there's a lot that people don't know about the series as a whole, and that there are actually other characters that kind of tie very much into the story. So
There are
I
other
thought giving a
characters
little
out
bit of
there.
that, yeah, that background would be amazing because you've created like this huge universe. It's not just Niobe, so I kind of want to share a little bit of that.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. So Niobe inhabits the world of Asunda, and she was essentially she came to me as a young chap, I guess, and growing up as a kind of a mixed kid growing up in England, I was dealing with a lot of bullying and trying to find, I guess, the juxtaposition of where do you belong versus where do you fit in,
Mm-hmm.
and figuring that I could fit in most places, but struggling with the belonging, and um, and I think I was creating this world, this fantasy world, that I could escape into. And Niobe was essentially that character that I could pour all of my inhibitions and my vulnerabilities and my wrath onto her winged shoulders. And as I grew, she kind of grew with me.
Mm-hmm.
And the world I was creating, playing a lot of D&D and all that kind of stuff, that kind of expand as well over the years, got bigger and bigger as we started to, create new environments and new characters, new stories that would interweave in and out of Niobe's own storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the where it all kind of started for other characters was the Untamed, and that's what a lot of people, when they come to the conventions, they experience this. I do actually have the very first printing of the Untamed here. So that's the anyone in the chat, anyone on Instagram, everyone on Instagram, bloop, Go over to YouTube. There's only 2 people now on Instagram. All right, go over
Oh
to
no.
YouTube.
Okay, yes. I actually have 13 people who are still hanging out in my chat, and you guys can head over to YouTube, please. Stranger Comics YouTube channel. We're going live. I'm interviewing Sebastian Jones. Go check us out there. I'm talking to someone here, so you can be a part of the conversation by heading there. I love you guys.
So yeah, this is where you first meet Niobe, and this was 2009 printing. What's up, King Ryan, Ogdod, and Celeste, and everybody in the chat, Lost Eden. But yeah, this is where you first meet Niobe, and a lot of it was, I think I wanted to plant a seed on how to introduce her. That you're a lot of times when you kind of get into these big fantasy worlds, you're getting into it from the grand sweeping epic. You're learning these giant characters and so on. And I kind of wanted to plant her in a way that would um, essentially ask the reader these questions of what would you do with a second chance, and could you be a better person, and all those types of things, right? So you first meet, and everybody that is here in the chat, was you first meet her through the stranger story, this guy right here, and there's the hand of the devil. And this comic was called The Untamed, A Sinner's Prayer. So when you're a sinner and you pray to the man above, maybe the man below is also checking you out. So this is where you first meet Niobe, and the pitch goes, as we could, so might as well just start with the pitch. The pitch for The Untamed is, would you damn your family to save the world?
Mm-hmm.
This is a story of a man who's stuck in purgatory, and after 10 years, the devil comes along and he says, I'll give you 7 days to reap the 7 souls that murdered you and your family. He takes a drifter's return to a one-horse town in a huge world. As his memory comes back in broken shards, he realizes when he was alive, he was a bad man and maybe he deserved to die, but now he's on a path to save his family. On his path of vengeance to save their soul, he meets a little elven girl called Niobe, as she reminds him of how old his murdered daughter would have been, giving this man a second chance to be a good man or a father, but he only has 7 days. The kicker, what if she's one of the 7 souls he has to collect? And the devil set the whole thing up just to find her. Would you damn your family to save the world? Because if Niobe can stay alive in the Untamed, maybe she'll grow up to become our world's Luke Skywalker, the face of our franchise. So that's Niobe.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a cover that we actually did with the artist that does The Last of Us, the lead concept artist of The Last of Us, did these covers of the Stranger and Niobe in these matching sets. What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Extremely relevant right now due to the series on HBO.
It's kind of hot right now.
Yeah.
But it's a great question that you do raise, is because a lot of people know Stranger Comics solely for Niobe.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But we do have a lot of other characters in the world of Asunda for folks to cosplay and to experience and find themselves within these characters. I mean, see if I'm hoping at some point you're going to cosplay. Oh, look, here's another one, of course. This is also done by the artist that does The Last of Us. This was our other exclusive back in 2009. That's Kersheg the Mute. And I'm going to see. Here's one. This is one we're hoping that you at some point cosplay Dura, the creator of the world of Asunda.
Trust me, it's coming.
Okay,
I'm already plotting on it. I'm trying to figure out how to do the whole antler setup. It's gonna be fun.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm super hyped about that. But yeah, folks come for Niobe, and it's funny. When folks do read some of our other stories like Dusu and Erathun, they just that's when they go, actually, I really like that story more, or it's trying to build that mini Marvel universe of fantasy.
But I mean, that's with everything, you know what I mean? Just like how we have the Avengers, there are different characters that different people kind of gravitate towards too, because they see similarities in the characters. So I think that having the variety and the characters is kind of like a good thing. So you kind of like appeal to everyone in some type of way.
Some type of way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's that when we do a lot of folks, you know, when you generally get into fantasy, it's this through the European lens. It's the, you know, the King Arthur and or the Shire or, you know, those types of things. And our introduction into the world of Asunda is more through the Untamed is more kind of a Moroccan landscape, and Niobe and Dusu is more of a West African, I guess, landscape, if you will. And
Mm.
then Erethune is set in Scandinavia. So we go into that different regions of our African continent, and then you can go and explore the world through these different, you know, through their lenses, and start. So we start there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, how long did that take you? Like, how long has it been this process of like building the world to like kind of where you are now, where it's built, it's there, it exists, and you're seeing it? And I'm wondering like how crazy that is even to think about, you know?
Yeah, it is. Hello, Ryan and Jocelyn and Misty and all the folks. If you click on your, if you can see on your StreamYard, if you click comments, then you can, the comment section on your StreamYard, you'll be able to write comments back on the YouTube link as well. And you'll see the comments on the YouTube, Destiny. I don't know if you can see them.
I can't see them.
Can you, if on the right-hand side of your laptop, does it say
Oh,
comments?
it does say comments. Oh,
All
so
right.
many comments. Look at that.
There you go.
Amazing.
Okay, there's okay.
I'm
All good.
sorry.
And
I
yeah, hi.
haven't like streamed since TikTok, so this is different.
No, no worries. And hello, Ryan. Hello, folks in the chat. So yeah, it's what's up, Lucian? What's up, everybody? I guess yeah, it's an ongoing thing. So I'm 49, dude. Like, so the world has been going. Started creating as a teenager, so it's been a minute. Um, and I think at different times, there's a sudden rush to create. And at what points do you like, oh, today I want to work on the sound of the language that the Gelem speak, or
Hmm.
oh, I want to work on what are the wild elves? What are the name of the wild elves, or why are they nomadic? What are the reasons? Um, and how did the origins of all of the kind of the elves, the Asiniel in my world, how do they come to be, and why are there elves that kick it in the forest versus nomadic versus hide in a tower versus the Mordecai Silver elves? So I think depending on at different points in my life where I've been able to just really focus on world building, it accelerates, and you're like, all right, I've got some shit covered now. I've got a good base and a good foundation. But thanks to Daryl and Josh and Quincy, folks that kind of and now T Franklin and Tusu and Bedu and you know, folks that write with me. They can lend their perspectives and their ideas, and they're and it's very interesting. Like working with Tuso recently, she had like read the hardcovers and thoroughly, and so she had all these questions. And then when we were writing a new Niobe comic story, a lot of her ideas were to reference not only our previous or current books, but also to set up ideas for future books, which was super fun, and like, oh shit, that's a great perspective, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a trip, you know, but it's also the day to day of going, juggling, running a business, making sure people are buying this shit, and then going, all right, now you know, now I can get back to the lab. Like before we hopped on, I'm writing Niobe Endura issue 3. I finished writing it. Daryl's done the layouts, and I'm just fine tuning the script to his layouts to send to Sheldon. And before that, I was organizing, you know, trucks for Emerald City Comic Con and making sure everyone's going to get there, you know. So it's the juggle of the business
Right.
and the creative, you know.
Yeah, there's like a ton of moving parts.
Yeah.
And honestly, I want to commend you on your pitch because I mean I've heard it so many times when we went to New York Comic Con, and that was actually my first time working with you. But like the way that you give your all every single time that you choose like to do it is like amazing to me, like very inspiring. I can tell that you love what you do, like you believe in what you do, like 1000%. And I just want to give you your flowers for that because
Thank you.
the team works so freaking hard, like, and I'm excited. I don't know if I can mention like some of the stuff that you have like coming up.
Mention
Yeah,
it. Mention
like the
whatever you want. Oh,
documentary
yes, absolutely.
that will be
You,
coming very soon. Yes.
yeah, you're the first person to break it. What's up,
Was I
Skull?
supposed to? Was I?
Yeah, no, it's the exclusive. It's the Sunflower Samurai exclusive. Here going on right now.
Oh man, we should have charged people for this then. I
Really?
didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Patreon exclusive. If you need to know more, join the Patreon right now. I should have the ticker going across. Um, so yeah, guys, we are currently working on a documentary, a Stranger Comics documentary, when we're starting the majority of the filming at Emerald City Comic Con. So Destiny's going to be there. A lot of the peeps are going to be there. We might Kickstartery type of situation it so folks can actually be a part of the Stranger Comics documentary. That's, you know, the Stranger family has been so supportive of us over the last, few, since the jump, but then during the pandemic, the Stranger family just blossomed, and so I want to make sure, the Stranger family get a chance to be a part of the documentary. So yeah, we're working on that. I'll also say, what's up, Valerie? What's up, everybody? Soap and stuff. So we're also working on mini shorts. Oh snap! I lost Destiny. Whoop. I don't know what's going on. Hey, everybody on Instagram. I don't know if you're there. I don't know if that's me. Are you guys still in the... Oh, there she is. She's back. Hopefully that's... I've been having some Wi-Fi issues. Was that you or me, darling?
That was totally me.
Okay. Okay, good.
Always me.
All good. But I was going to say, the documentary we're also starting to work on, for folks in the chat, we're working on building assets for mini movies. Yeah, some really fun stuff, taking the bull by the horns a little bit. So I don't know if anyone saw in the chat that the last Kickstarter we did, we had a mini movie of Niobe modeled by Soleil West fighting a cave troll to give our tip of the hat to Lord of the Rings. But my buddy, who's a VFX guru who worked on The Matrix and The Fight Club and The Cell and a whole bunch of stuff, he's currently building assets. So, again, this is half the press, to the folks in the chat, but we are working on building some really cool assets as we want to grow our brand laterally as well as, linearly through the comics.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And while we're on the topic, do you kind of want to share some of the other things that you're kind of working on right now? I'm not even going to say them because I don't know what I'm allowed to say anymore.
Okay, all right, no problem.
I'll let you share whatever you'd like to share as far as like where Stranger Comics is kind of heading and what you're doing currently, and what are your plans for the future?
For sure. Yeah, Misty's like vertically. Yeah, horizontally and vertically. That makes more sense. Yeah. Thank you. So we okay, with Tusu Mbedu, she's one of the two stars of The Woman King. And so with Viola Davis, and the irony there is Viola Davis did the forward in the hardcover for the original Niobe hardcover. Does a nice kind of super fun tie-in. And Tuso was also in the show The Underground Railroad, the limited series that Barry Jenkins did, which was just beautifully haunting, and it was incredibly powerful. And I just, fell in love with Tuso's performance just right off the jump. And so I saw she was following Stranger Comics on Instagram, and I was like, what the hell? So I messaged her on IG, and I was like, hey, do you want to do some cool shit together? And she's like, yeah. And
It was that simple.
that's how it went. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And so
So
I was
it's
like, oh, you're from South Africa. Where are you at? She goes, oh, I currently live in LA. Anyway, long story short, she lives like 7 minutes down the road from my house in
no
LA.
way.
Yeah,
It's like it was meant to be.
it's meant to
The
be.
universe's way of saying it's like it was supposed to happen.
Yes.
And also for the people out there, that means shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. You
Shoot
never know.
your
You
shot.
never know. Reach out, ask questions, do all the things. You know what I
I was the
mean?
same way with you, though. I was like, you're amazing. You came to the booth at San Diego Comic Con in your avatar outfit, just, murdering fools. And I was like, who is this incredible person? One day, could she be Niobe? So you
Yeah.
never know.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I think I took a gamble too because I was looking at you like, this is amazing. Like, I would love to, you know what I mean? So to be even offered the opportunity is a win for me. So
And then who
I
who is
appreciate
Dave?
you.
Oh, I appreciate you too, darling. Who is this? One of your buddies? Who's Date cosplay in the comments?
Date, we love Dante. He is one of my very good cosplay friends. I've known him for, oh my gosh, since middle school, honestly.
That's
Maybe we've danced
awesome.
together a lot. We cosplay together, and we're actually working on a lot of cosplay stuff together. I'm actually trying to get him to come do some Niobe cosplay. I'm waiting for him to not be so busy so we can get
Yeah,
together and do all the things.
absolutely.
But yes, you'll probably meet him very soon.
Okay, cool. Definitely. And Date and everyone in the chat, if you go to Stranger Comics, I'm such a muppet. I should have been. It's a bit salesy, but I have like one of these tickers, right? Oh no, that's old. All right, bollocks, whatever. So Date, if you want, anyone that wants to get anything just to try it out is free on our website. Go to strangercomics.com. I should have the ticker, right? So people can actually see. Go to strangercomics.com. You can download the first 6 issues of each book for free. And we would love more folks to actually cosplay the chaps as well, right? The fellas. We have Dusu. We have all sorts of amazing, amazing guys, guys and gals that, you guys can play. All right, I'm gonna hit save, and then this is is that just that's so like
Woo!
it just limps across the screen there. There we go.
StrangerComics.com.
There you go.
I love it.
But yeah, that's the move. Is yeah, Dusu, all these wonderful folks. Oh, wait, Date Cosplay says might be going to Emerald City.
Are you going really? Are you going really? I haven't talked to him in like a week. I proposed it, I think maybe like 2 weeks ago. I said, "Come with me. You should go." He was like, "I might go," but hotels were a little expensive for a last minute kind of purchase. Are you
They
coming?
are come to Emerald City. If people, I mean, I
I'm
know this is
telling
going
you.
to suddenly people are going to start like screaming towards me. I might have an extra badge. So Dragon Con, I'm working on it, Jocelyn. I just emailed them again today. We got dragons, we got comics, we got black folks in our comics. What the fuck's up with Dragon
What
Con?
else? Yeah, what else do you need? What
We
else do
should
you
be
need?
there. You know? So yeah, come to Emerald City Comic Con. It's going to be amazing. I have a panel too on Saturday at 3:45, room some shit or other. But we'll have all the information. So yeah, come to Emerald City Comic Con, have a bunch of fun, and yeah. So Jeff Burnell says definitely going to check it out. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, just go to strangercomics.com and download those suckers for free.
Heck yeah, we love
And
it.
we will be back at New York Comic Con. Oh, there's TJ phoning, of course. I try to figure out. There's a new don't focus, don't.
Oh, the do not disturb.
And I'm like, how the hell Before you just hit a button, now it's like giving me options, and my text fields are like, "Phew."
Technology, yes. It's supposed to make our life simpler, but I feel like it just kind of gets a little complicated sometimes.
It does. Yeah, and for me, I'm just abysmal with technology. But yes, folks, come to the Emerald City Comic Con is in a new location this year, so we're going to check it out for the first time.
Oh,
But
it is.
it is, but it's a great con.
I mean, is the new location close to the old location?
It is, thank
It is.
goodness.
Okay.
Because I was nervous after booking all these hotels. I was like, all right, new location. But no, it's walking distance from the hotel.
Okay.
In the same way, when we're at the hotel in New York, it's a bit of a walk, but you get your exercise in the morning through the snow, you know, skiing on our way to Emerald City. Good Lord.
I was wondering what the weather was going to be like, honestly,
Yeah,
because
it's meant to be just rainy, so I think we're okay. And Alumba, yeah, thank you very much. You love the book. If you guys want, and I should mention this too, it is the last 2 days of you using discount code BHM. I just lost the comments. I should write this too, shouldn't I? I should just be um, more thorough right here. If I do this, you use discount code BHM on our website to get 25% off at there. All right, save and show. Hey, look at that. Hi,
we're just going to keep on going, and as the live continues, it's just going to
yeah,
continue.
I'm adding stuff.
More and more information. I love it. Okay, so I have another question for you.
Shoot.
Okay, so as you know, like your comic is serving like as an inspiration to people who kind of want to get into comic book writing and cosplaying and, just all the nerdy things. So I'm wondering, like, what were your inspirations growing up?
Yeah, my inspirations, I think, um, in writing the comic, well, my inspirations just in general growing up were James Brown, the James Brown fanatic,
I
Otis
love it.
Redding. So I had this like my inspirations were very impactful on my life. So I was very much into old school hip hop, 90s hip hop, but very hardcore into 60s funk and soul music, and very into blues and jazz, but hardcore as a young guy, hardcore old soul and funk, like super stanky rare funk. And then I got very much into, at the same time, I was collecting comic books and playing Dungeons and Dragons. So it was like all these things were converging, and spaghetti westerns. I was hardcore, hardcore spaghetti westerns and old samurai movies like Yojimbo and Seven Samurai. So all these things were just, and then super into the Spike Lee joints around the time. So I think my earliest inspirations were cinema and music.
Hmm.
And then the Lord of the Rings, of course, I read Lord of the Rings, and so I got very into fantasy. So, um, but I think the stories that I was most drawn to were the vengeance to redemption type stories.
Hmm.
Um, things that had massive impact on me as a young man, the sense of doing right or second chances. And um, I really struggle with, I think, the like a morality thing, right? Where I struggle with people's lack of consideration. So I think I um, found my path into writing within these characters or stories that would allow me to put myself in these shoes of these characters, and also wrestling with your own inner demons. I think somebody said earlier, like, do the characters reflect, real human issues? I'm like, it's funny because that's the core essence, I think, of each character within the stories I write. So to that note, as far as inspiration, as I got older within the writing, it was more of social issues for sure, but also day to day real issues of love versus lust. Can a man tell the difference? Um, what would you do for your family? In another, so we ask these questions like in the Untamed, would you damn your family to save the world? And with Niobe, it's with the world divided, who do you turn to?
Mhm.
And if this is the end, who will you be? Like to really say, if this is the end of civilization, if this is the end of where your journey is, who are you prepared to be as a person? What you know, what scabs are you willing to kind of peel off to still not be jaded and still continue to soldier on.
Mhm.
So those things are really really important.
I'm curious as to if anyone has ever asked you your own question about would you damn your family to save the world?
Oh,
Because it's like such a deep question, and I feel like I've seen you say it to so many people, and the reaction is the same every single time. It's like, oh my gosh,
uh,
like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like no one has an answer right away. Like that's a deep thinking, deep seated question, and I'm just wondering if anyone has ever like returned the question to
but I
you,
never
or if
have.
you've ever like asked yourself the question. I'm not going to ask you the question because I don't want your family to come for me. But yeah, just
No, I think
curiosity.
no. The My instinct is no. I would not dare my family. I would. There's a line I don't remember the line, but it's a line in the Untamed which is literally he says something like, "I would bathe this town in blood to blah blah blah." I would he would make that deal with the devil again. I think
Mm,
his I think it's the desperation to be a better man or a better father, a better husband, a better just a better person. You having that second chance to be that better person is almost that false sense of reality that you want to do best for your family so they can forgive you or they can see you as the better man, but in reality, to be the better man, you're meant to save the world.
right,
And they
exactly.
know that. But I think you're always searching for your own sense of it's almost like a child that goes, "Look at
Like
me,
a
mom."
validation, like
Yes,
a
it's that.
validation.
Look at me, I'm doing this. Can you see I'm trying? I'm working on myself. And it's like when you're ending a relationship with someone, usually in an intimate relationship, and you still want to go, well, hey, look, I'm working on myself. I'm doing
Mm,
better. You know, I can do better. Let me show you. And usually it's too late.
hmm
Um, and then at the end of the day, though, you've got to do better for yourself, and that's the only way someone will be able to receive you. um, you shouldn't do better for someone else, but oftentimes as humans we do, like, well, I got to be better for my son, I got to be better for my partner, whatever.
hmm Yeah, very cool. And okay, I have another question that kind of
Okay.
piggybacks off of that. So as artists, when we create things, I feel like there are kind of like two sides where an artist will explain to you kind of like what the takeaway is or what they want you to take away from whatever they've created, or they kind of leave it to the imagination and allow people to process it and take it in as they see fit for themselves.
Sure.
How series kind of like sits in that spectrum there, because there are a lot of like little hidden gems and messages in there,
You
really deep.
broke up right at that key point. What did you say at the last bit?
Oh, which part?
You said right at the very end, you said just the last chunk, you were like, what do you
Oh, okay. So like what do you kind of like see for the series when people like experience it? Are you like on the spectrum of like you have something like you created this because you want some like people to gain this certain like idea, or are you
Mm,
just asking a question, so to speak? You know what I mean?
yeah, that's a great question. I think initially, it's a really hard thing, right? Where we're at in our society right now, it feels like whoever screams the loudest is the winner. Whoever boasts the most gets the, you know, gets the most followers, gets the most, attention. It's a popularity contest, I think, is more important than the craft or the art. A lot of times people are more like, oh, they must be good. They've got X amount of followers, or they've sold X amount of records, or they've done X amount on the box office. It doesn't necessarily quantify as art, or the quality, or the doesn't necessarily, it means it might have just been marketed well. But you can be a politician, you can market yourself as a brand, and people go like, oh my God, yes, you're playing on emotion. So, but for me, I don't think I want to fuck with that. For me, I think it's almost creating a counterpoint for people that want to take the time to listen. But it's very, very difficult because you feel like a bit of a salmon swimming upstream against the current of this onslaught of the current of like what does that dude say? That's we the best music, and you're like, nah, you're not.
Not DJ Khaled.
Yeah, but he says it so people go like, oh, all right, I guess we the best music. I first heard that shit on a Justin beat. I was like, no, what the fuck? You're not. It's not even decent. Like what? I mean, and that's again my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to the three viewers I just lost.
The 3 DJ Khaled fans.
The
Oh
three,
no.
yeah, that's it. Oh my!
I didn't know that they went so hard.
They went so hard. Yeah. So but I think that is the, Anyway, without getting super sidetracked, because I sound like a grumpy old man. But but I do believe that I want people to literally be able to have the patience, right? There's a lady that bought some comics, and she sent me a message. She's like, I don't really get it. What's happening? What are Niobe's powers? What is, where's she at from the jump? And I'm like, holy shit, can you read it? So I think people don't have the patience, right, to take the time to be for the slow burn, because we're in the day and age of like, oh, what's the most recent filter that you were wearing? And what's this? I've got an attention span of 7 seconds to 15 seconds. I've got this attention span. If I can't grab you in the first, with that immediate grab, then someone just doesn't care. And for me, my goal is to be like, I'm going to grab you with this art, or people go like, oh, that's great. What is that? And then hope then they can find something in the art on the first page, or a piece of dialogue that resonates on a deeper level, to then give them even if it's unaware, to let them then travel with the storyline, to then go, oh my God, I'm getting my soul nourished. And it sounds so up my own arse saying this shit, but it's true. It's honestly, I don't want to fuck with art unless it feels like it's feeding my soul. And then if I feel like I'm going to get an honest connection with the reader, and they feel something deeper, then that's really what it's about for me. And I feel like I'm not very, I mean, Dash, I suck at social media, right? So it's literally like, and Jocelyn said the Stranger fan might not be huge, but we show up. When we make these connections, the Stranger family show up because we're making deeper connections. And there's a line that I wrote in Niobe and Dura. Shout out to me. We the best comics. Can I say that?
We the best. Yes, you can. I mean, it should be on your website now, shouldn't it?
Shall I write?
Has it been changed yet?
Add that the ticker. We the best. We the best comics. Good Lord. But there's a line I wrote, which is like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna read this from Niobe and Dura.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
But the line is essentially, just because having followers does not make you a leader, right? So in the line here, in Niobe, a leader is not measured in followers, but in the demons they have the courage to face. So you can be facing, shout out to Niobe Endura, get this shit right now on strangercomics.com. If you haven't got Niobe Endura, so that is really, for me, a big, we have so many of these faux leaders that just because they have followers does not make them a great leader. And do you have the courage to face your own demons, not just the demons around you, like the racist demons, the crazy demons, the street, whatever those demons are out there trying to take your money or take your shit or take your shine or whatever. There's a lot of those out there, and they don't even realize they're demons. They're just trying to go through their day to day.
Right, exactly.
Right. So you're dealing with those demons, and you're also dealing with your own inner demons of guilt or, you know, not anxiety, because that's just a product of, but your own demons of, you know, whatever those demons are, you know.
Yeah. I feel like that's extremely relevant right now in the age of social media, because, yeah, unfortunately, very, very common thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. The clout chasing is fucking bonkers, you know.
It's okay, but we're doing great things here. We're gonna.
Misty said the Khaled variant. Yes, please, we the best.
The Khaled variant. That's hilarious. Oh, people are talking about damning the world. I'm going back.
You're going back.
Reading all the comments now.
So yeah, for folks in you know, Destiny's IG and the YouTube fam, go to Stranger Comics. You know, I'm good, Date cosplay at the shameless plugs, 100%. You know, it's just you know, as Destiny would tell you on the show. I mean, you guys know, if you see me on the showroom floor, I am shameless, but it's this. But I think it's easier then to literally have that honest one-to-one connection. At least for me, the playing field is leveled, and I'm not competing with an algorithm. My algorithm is my own intention, and
Right.
you know, that's so that, you know, that helps out.
Absolutely.
You can't algorithm me. You can't algorithm me on at a convention. You know, only age can. You know, only my back. You know.
I love it. And then, like, what is would you say, your favorite thing about being a comic artist or writer, or, you know, all the things?
My favorite thing.
Oh, your favorite thing.
Woo.
Woo.
I honestly think it is the Stranger Family. It's very humbling and nurturing. I have such a small my small immediate family. My mother's from India, so she and her mother's family. You know, shout out to mum. I'm sorry if you're watching, you get really upset. But both my parents, ironically, my mother's mother was disowned from her family, and my father's mother was disowned from her family. So I have a very, very small family. My dad doesn't live. My dad lives in Spain. My mother lives in England again now. My son lives in Oregon. I have all of my family is very spread out. The small family that I do have, and so when my immediate friends that I work with and the stranger family that I've met at conventions or online that really start to fill those voids, and to know that that the work that I've done has also kind of helped them through some shit. Those kind of honest connections has been real. And you know, now and again, it's crazy. I would get the odd message on social media saying, "Hey, I met you at Phoenix Comic Con 4 years ago. I came to your panel, and because of what you said, I actually went to college. I turned my life." I get that a few times here and there, and those, because comics are extremely difficult to make money with the profit margins and now the gas prices have skyrocketed, so print costs have skyrocketed, storage fees have skyrocketed, flights, accommodation, all those things, booth costs, everything has just gone through the roof. So the margins are very small. So to make a living doing this is extremely difficult, and to even have a small staff. Like when you hear of indie comics, they're like we're indie comics, but you're like, yeah, you're still Silicon Valley funded. You're still, you know what I'm saying? Like you're still like not indie, but to be indie and also compete with the attention and the dollar of someone that is risking their hard-earned dollar at a convention. That's really, that I think has been the ultimate reward, has been just the reaction. Yeah. I have a cat. I have a cat.
I see the cat now. I see the cat. I heard the cat before I saw the cat. I was like, there's a cat in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's my son's cat. My son should be watching the cat right now.
Maybe you should start doing cat videos. Those do very well on social media.
You know what? Bring a cat, for real.
The Niobe cat.
The algorithms. These fucking algorithms,
And then on the other side of that, like, what do you feel like is the most challenging? I feel like you kind of touched on that, but like
the most challenging.
Just for naming it.
Yeah, no. The most challenging is easy. It's literally when people ask what's the most difficult thing, they say, I say, it's time. It's the time away from my family or people that I love, but it's also the time that they spend away from me. So while they're working or they're going through their day to day, and I'm working on my dream and those types of things, then that's the most challenging thing, because there are never enough hours in the day, and that is just brutal. Because you're like, oh, my son lives in Oregon. I come to Oregon once a month. That's a month. That's a week, and then I'm at a convention. That's a week. Maybe it's 2 conventions. Oh, that's 3 weeks. And then where do you spend time at home or in life? Just let alone, oh yeah, when do you find time to create? There's just never enough time. So time is the biggest challenge.
Time, yes. Juggling all of the things.
It's the only important thing in life is time, And as you get older,
what do you do with it?
Man, you're like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. It is the most precious commodity. And you just don't, and it's hard to have context when you're younger, Dan, because you're just being cool, having fun,
Right. I feel like there should be like a little transitional period for all of us, just like that in between adulthood phase,
Yes.
Teenager, adulthood. I don't think that's fair. You know what I mean? I feel like we all get thrown for the loop when we hit like 21, 22, and we're like, oh, what is this? I thought life was just about being cool and fun. What happened? We got to pay bills and figure out what to do with our lives and
I think it's
be
hard
better people.
folks now, man. Someone said, "Found a possible cosplay for me with that Untamed Young print." Yes, cosplay as Kershig the Mute. Definitely. What's up, Deja? Sick. What's up, everybody that's joining? On the what's up, Mr. Towers? What's up, Duke? What's up, everybody? Yeah, it's a crazy time. Hold on, Xavier. My kid's got his earphones on, so I don't know if he's even going to hear me. Abby, can you grab the crazy cat? She's going bonkers. Thank you. So yeah, but I think you're right, and I think in today's age, there's so much pressure because there's so much of this filtered reality of like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm doing great, so you must be doing great too, but really it's the algorithms trying to keep you in that meta world to not work on who you are, right? Not work on your own sense of self and your own realities to keep, they're making you march to the beat of someone else's drum.
Exactly. And I always struggle with that, with doing social media and stuff like that. I'm like, I feel like all of our attention is just being pulled like outward. Like we're just told to look at all of these things and be all of these things outwardly. And I'm just like, no one's looking at themselves on the inside. No one has time to work on themselves or really figure out who they are or what they like or, so that's definitely a struggle for me with doing social
But
media.
you're
But
amazing. I mean, the folks that are if you folks are the Stranger Comics crew on Instagram, I don't know if we've got like there's 4 people still watching on Instagram. What up, Instagram? And then for folks on, if you're not following Destiny, Sunflower Samurai, she's absolutely amazing at what she crafts, because a lot of folks do this magical stuff, but how do you get your lip syncing down to just this? I mean, you're amazing at this shit, to be honest.
thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Honestly, I do it over and over until I believe it.
Okay.
If I don't believe it, then I'm like, okay, do it again. Do it again. Yeah. So I just think it's just taking the extra time to care about the details because I feel like details matter. So
They do matter. They
yeah.
do matter massively, and that's why I've got like 12 followers on TikTok, and you know, you
You
know, what I
have
mean?
more than 12 followers on TikTok. You got your blue check mark.
I have my blue check mark. Yes.
That's a win.
It is, but here's the crazy shit is I can't post music. The blue check mark on TikTok forces you to you're not allowed to use, so I
Oh.
can't be like, oh, I want to put my James Brown shit on, or I want to put my own music that I like. I'm like, oh,
n-
that
like no
stupid beat,
copyrighted
whatever the
music.
fuck that thing is, they do the cosplay thing.
Yeah.
I can't even use that. So I can't even use some current trends. I have to stay within the TikTok parameters of
Oh.
music. So half the time I'm
So
like,
no copyright music basically is what
right,
they're saying. Oh,
yeah,
that's kind
yeah.
of lame.
It is. It's very
You're like
fascinating.
you're like calling up like, how do I get rid of the blue check mark? I no longer want.
I mean, I don't know. I know people are like, oh my god, your blue check marks. I'm like, all right. I mean, I appreciate it. I know it validates me, and I know social media
Mm,
is all about validation. It's almost like the comics, the TV shows, and films. Is I used to do a lot of commercial acting and modeling when I was young and pretty,
uh-huh.
and um, and
Talk about that next.
and when people would come to the booth, they'd be like, "Oh, hey, did I see you in this GQ magazine?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh my god, okay, I'll buy it." And I'm like, "What the fuck's that got to do with anything?" But I understand it's this emotional connection when you see a celebrity. Um,
Hmm.
and I realized this when we had Amanda Stenberg, who no, what are you doing? There we go. Amanda Stenberg, who played Rue in the Hunger Games, and she's a star of the new Acolyte series. She co-wrote Niobe She's Life with me. The very first person that was a big star that we rocked with, she came to the booth at New York Comic Con. It was our first time at New York Comic Con. We had a 10 by 10, one corner, and I knew she was showing up that morning. I just ran out to the audience, and she was just said, "Hey, I'm on my way. I'm nearly there." So I just ran out and I was giving out flyers and went, "Hey, Rue from the Hunger Games, about to sign right here. Hey, Rue from the Hunger Games, sign right." Just giving them a flyer with the booth number, and
Yeah.
they started going like, "All right," like sheep, like, "Oh, all right," and
Mm-hmm.
because there was a bit of a line, then some people are like, "Oh, what's that line?" "Oh, apparently Rue from the Hunger Games is signing her comic book." All right, and then before you knew it, for the rest of the day, I just had lines wrapped around all of these booths, like we had lines going like crazy. But I also pulled that shit off the first time I was in San Diego. But anyway, before I segue, the emotional connection that people had when they came up to the booth and they were like, "Oh my god, when you died as Rue, tears, and they were like, just because they had that emotional connection, it's like the first time you make love or you kiss or whatever, you symbolize that within a framework of a Star Wars or a Lord of the Rings or a movie star or something. You correlate that emotional connection with. Yeah. And I'm going to plug my computer in. My son plugged it in, but it's not. It's going to the wrong spot. So hang on 1 second. I'm gonna
No
get
worries.
I'm gonna get very naughty and just do this for a second.
Oh, 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 where is he going? Where is he going? It's a mystery. I'll just do a little dance here while you're away. Keeps the people entertained, give them what they want.
So there we are. She is going to be the new, a newer celebrity other than the writer, co-creator of Niobe. I've aged well. Thank you, Misty. Rue is going to be the new acolyte. Misty says, I know that, Lucy. And then I Googled him. Oh, my goodness. Misty says he's going down. So, Misty, usually we have Thirsty Thursdays, as you know. And this is
I know
actually
about
a very,
Misty.
very. Okay.
I know about Misty.
We're on you. This is a very professional interview, Misty. But I am currently in a movie. If you guys want to watch it, it's out and about. It's been out for a couple of years, called Beyond White Space.
You're just not telling us this?
Yeah. I'm in a movie. It's called Beyond White Space. It's I think you can watch it on Amazon or Showtime. It's out there. It's out there, and I play a space pirate. Oh, and the director is the guy that I'm making these short movies with in the world of Asunda.
A space pirate?
Yeah, I'm a space pirate. Yeah.
Can you give us your best space pirate impression?
I probably do this a bit, you know. I'm very English. No matter what I play, I think slip into this. Um, I remember one line. Oh my goodness, I remember one line from it. Shout out to Ken, I love you. So my one line that I remember is, "Oh, you sure know your penal codes."
That's the
That's the line I remember because it's so hilarious. The line is so epic. But I have
that's
more
the one.
lines than that. Okay, I have more lines than that. That's just the one that jumps out to me. But there's some good actors in there. Holt McAnally from Mindhunter is the star. Um, really tough guy, super tough guy. True folks, what's up, true folks? Martin in the
Honestly,
chat.
you should probably just put that on a t-shirt. I'm pretty convinced that
Yeah.
it'd probably sell. Yeah, put that.
Yeah, it's God, I don't know if I've sent maybe people will buy more comics from me if they know I'm in a movie.
Yes.
There we go. Beyond White Space, folks. It's in the chat. If you want to
It's
watch me
okay,
in a
guys.
movie,
I'm gonna find it. I'm making it my life's mission to find it. It's going all over the socials. Overnight viral sensation.
viral
Just
sensation.
make sure to have the t-shirts ready for purchase.
You sure know your penal codes. I tell you, it's. I had to wrestle with a very lovely lady, and I realized I wasn't very strong. Um, but it was great. It was a super fun movie, and super honored to be a part of it. But yeah. Beyond White Space. Go watch it. The special effects were amazing. Yeah,
Are you just
but
saying that?
no, they're amazing. They're amazing. The visual effects are amazing. Kenny is a genius. He's the chap, yeah, that does the fight, the work on the Matrix and stuff. Those are the it's really cool. It's a really fun movie. And I get to be the lead bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and you'll see a lot of Stranger Comics product placement too. They're like, at one point, some dude's reading like The Untamed on this spaceship or something, and there's a Stranger Comics cat being worn. So a lot
Oh,
of,
come on.
yeah,
How
no,
dare
it's fun.
you keep this from everyone? They would love that.
That's true. Good lord. Yeah, I should.
How dare you?
Yeah, Sabira says she found it on YouTube. There it is. Okay, see, Beyond White Space. I'm out there, people. I'm out there. I'm a movie star. When you watch it, be emotionally connected. Buy more of my shit. No hard sell.
So is that what like you originally wanted to be when you were younger? Is an actor
Yes.
slash GQ model slash I don't know whatever
A
else
lot
you
of
were doing. It
slashes.
sounds like you did a lot of things. Yes.
When I was younger, I wanted to act, and I think when I was super young, I just wanted to be a rock star. But when because I just music is probably my is the thing that moves me, the frequency of sound, and that just is, yeah, to me, music makes you want to either fight, fuck, or fall in love. You shouldn't do anything else really. And it sounds quite dramatic, I guess. But yeah, when I was younger, I moved to America when I was 18 by myself, and my mum's best friend was living here, and she was married to the movie legend Cary Grant. And so when I was young, I was like, "Oh, Cary, he's got it all right. What does he do? Oh, he's an actor. Oh, okay." I was a teenager, and I didn't really put it together that Cary Grant was one of the most legendary actors of all time. As a kid, it's just like my it's like my god. They're like kind of like my godparents. My sister's godmother, that was Barbara, and she was married to him. So I grew up coming to America and staying with Cary. And he would come and stay with me. So as an 18-year-old, you're like, oh yeah, that's how you get the nice things. All right. But when I moved to America, he had passed away by then, and without wanting to say too much, I had to kind of do everything on my own. And hold on 1 second, my love. Xavier, Abby, I gotta tell him his mum's calling. 1 sec.
Oh, so sweet. Round 2 of dancing.
Abby, phone your mum. She's trying to call me. I'm on the interview. Good night, Jocelyn. Good night. Good night. When I moved here, it was I had to do everything on my own, and so my first kind of jobs were hustling Paul badly, and drawing portraits of rich white people, knocking on their doors and saying, "Hello, I'm from England. Would you like your portrait done?"
And are you an artist too? Do you draw also?
I'm okay. I'm not great.
Okay.
I was really good at choosing the frames. But
that's one that you were confident in.
I was just a very confident young dude, to be honest, with speaking. And I was broke. So I was like, I would literally hang out in the fancy neighborhoods and knock on people's doors and literally say that. And they were like, "Oh, you're from England. You must be amazing. All right. How much for this?" And I was like, $300. And they would go, "Okay, well, would you like to come in and, draw my kid?" I was like, "No, can I just get a photograph?" Because I was thinking, I'm not that fucking good.
Yeah.
So I'd take their photograph, go home, and then draw them, and then come back and present them with this really average portrait of their beloved child. And they would look devastated. And I would say, "What do you think of the frames?" And they would go, "Yeah, the frames are good." And I would make my money,
It's kind of like like Robin Hood, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Rob, yeah, kind of, because the portraits weren't very good,
He's out here stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. We love it.
That was me. And then the other job was I would go and play pool, and I would see these guys who were very arrogant, and usually I'd pick on very drunk, arrogant dudes that were trying to impress their girls and just were really kind of, I just thought they seemed like dickheads, to be honest. And I would make sure they kind of clocked me as some nerdy dude, and they would come up and they would say, "Hey, are you playing, what are you know how to play pool?" I'm like, "Oh no, in England it's called snooker. How do you play?" And they would kind of show me, and they would say, "Do you want to make a bet?" I'm like, "Oh, my mum doesn't really let me. Maybe $5." They go, "All right, how about 10?" I'm like, "Okay." And then I would lose a couple of times, and they would say, "Double or nothing." I'm like, "Oh, what's that?" And they would go, "Well, you do this." I'm like, "Okay, but that's about it." And I got to go home because my mum would be up mad. And then I would kind of get them up, and then I would get them up to about $100. Then I would beat them and then get the fuck out of there.
He was also a pool shark, you guys. We're learning so much about Sebastian tonight.
And I wasn't very good at pool either. I was just good at reading people. And then when I would see they were really nervous because they were trying to impress their girl, usually it was these dudes with like I'm sounding like some old bastard, but cap on back was Jeep, buff white dude. Like this was the '90s, right? I mean, like they just thought they were the shit, and I was like, oh, I really I don't like that person. They seem really arrogant and boastful, and I'm gonna take $100 off them and go home. So that was that, and then I was acting, and then I got I was struggling immensely as an actor. But here's the funny shit: is my first job as an actor was I was in New York on business, and when I had my record label, and I was visiting a friend of mine, and I was hanging out at this really nice bar, this really kind of nice bar that restaurant she worked at, and this black English girl comes over and she goes, "Hey, do you want to be in a commercial?" And I was like, "Fuck off! I've been living in LA for a few years, trying to be noticed. What are you talking about?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm doing a commercial. Do you want to be in it?" And I'm like, "What? No, I can't. I'm on business, and I've got to go back in a couple of days." She goes, "That's all right. We're shooting tomorrow." That's the director of it. "Oh, you're English too." He's English. Anyway, long story short, I end up staying for a day, and I get cast in a National Budweiser commercial. And funny story, if you've seen Django Unchained, or if you've seen the new show Mayor of Kingstown, The Receptionist, Nicole Robinson, who I think she goes by Nicole Galacia now or something, who is, I think, dating Tarantino for a bit. She was in the commercial, and I got her phone number, but I never followed up. I never saw her again. Um,
I'm gonna go dig that phone number out of
that
out of the cloud. go back, back.
that was that was handwritten back then. But no, it was that was my first commercial. So I went back to LA, Karen, doing my record business shit, and about a week later, I get I'm at a party, and a lady goes, "Hey, I run I'm a commercial agent. You should be in commercials." So I'm like, "Well, that's funny. I just did one last week." So I turned up with a headshot, which was in a frame by my mum's bed. By that time, my family moved out 4 years later. Showed it to her, and she's next thing you know, I'm in a Super Bowl commercial, and then I did commercials for about 20 years.
Yes, exactly. Him casually glossing over him having a record label. Exactly. Exactly.
So So I set up a record label with my mom and dad. They moved out about 4 years after I was out here, and I set up a label called MVP Records, and we put out 25 albums in historical jazz, rare jazz, blues, funk, soul, and the modern day one was called New Movement, which I even put Gangstar, a track from Gangstar, on the brand new heavies. But so basically my record label was, if you wanted to kind of get into funk or soul or beat, it's like an audio encyclopedia of Black American music from the 20s to the 90s. So and then so if you like hip hop, and I had like a rare stanky funk album called Vintage Funk, and you want to be like, "Oh, that Tribe track was fire," where I had the originals, So if you connected that through the music, so I was very big in the LA underground music scene in the '90s. There's a few photographs out there of me, getting the circle going. Yeah, I had a dance off with, I remember, the Black Eyed Peas in the circle before they were signed in Crenshaw. Like I have old music
Not
stories.
oh will.i.am and Fergie. Oh my goodness. Oh well,
No,
Fergie wasn't a part
pre
of it back
Fergie.
there.
Yeah,
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 she wasn't a part of it back then. Yeah.
yeah.
See, yeah, we gotta dig up all this footage.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny photos out there with me. Yeah, that was my world was Lemur. So for folks that are in LA, I think if Ahmad is still on there, True Folks. So LA's cultural black mecca is Leimert Park. It's been made more famous again recently with shows like Insecure. My writing partner Prentice Penny, who is the showrunner of Insecure, he and I wrote Niobe and Dura together. And of course, before that, if you remember Moesha, she's dancing outside the fountain. That's Leimert Park. So yeah, Leimert Park was essentially True Folks. Yes, absolutely. Look at that. That's epic. There's Project Blowed was the OG hip hop scene for the best freestylers. Period. Like Ava DuVernay, I think her first documentary was on the Good Life and Project Blowed, and next door was Juju, and that was my friend's spot every night at a coffee shop called Fifth Street Dick's, which was a legendary coffee shop, which was essentially the elders of the black community in Los Angeles. So that was my world for a very long time. That's essentially my roots in LA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it seems like you've dabbled in kind of like all of the arts. Did you dance too? I think we spoke about this a little bit, that you danced a little bit as well. Someone mentioned a b-boy comment there. So
Yeah.
now.
Okay. My first I think gig was I was a dancer. I think I lasted one night or two nights, the biggest gay club in Europe. Um, and I was a bit of a b-boy for sure. But my moves, I was a b-boy, but all of my moves were always James Brown. Always James Brown. It could have been house music, techno, funk, stanky funk, whatever it is James Brown, unless it's reggae, and then it's a little different.
It's all in the hips.
It's all in the hips. Yeah, I just got to get some hips and I'm good.
I love it. And I mean, I guess, how are you feeling about where you are now? Do you feel like you're
Oh,
gonna like branch off and go off into any other ventures, or do you feel like comic book kind of writing and creating is like your jam and that's where you're gonna be? Or
yeah, I think at the end of the day, what I realized from even the way I used to craft the compilations and the record label was storytelling. And so I enjoy telling the story of essentially social America from the 20s to modern day. So you could really experience, like, this is the Delta blues sound, this is the Chicago blues sound, the migrations of black folks going to get work in the factories, and why did the sound change into electrics, all those things. I found it really, I was just drawn to telling stories and using different mediums, I guess. And so now I thoroughly enjoy the comic medium because it allows me to direct and play director and writer and storyteller and collaborate, with people much better than me at what they do. And now I'm obviously writing kids books, and I've written a bunch of kids books, and now I'm starting to write prose books, and starting writing, and obviously screenplays. So now I'm getting into Hollywood a lot more in that capacity, working with Prentice and Yetide Badaki of American Gods, one of the stars of American Gods, who played Bilquis, the goddess of desire. She and I are writing and developing with Prentice a TV show called Niger Vamp, about a Nigerian vampire. And she and I are writing the comic book, which is awesome. We're zooming again tomorrow. She's amazing. So I think that's and I like writing music as well. So those just storytelling, no matter what it is. Yeah.
yeah, I was just very curious because it seems that like a lot of your inspiration comes from music.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, like, how do you translate that to kind of like your writing in comics, or if there was like going to be something else where you kind of like explore a little bit more your love for
Yes.
music?
Well, it's funny because the what we want to do is, within the comics, is maybe put one of those QR code thingies that you can listen to the sounds of how I imagined that book to be, or
Mm.
what I was listening to when when I was writing. A lot of people are like, "What do you know? What music do you listen to when you write? When you wrote the Untamed?" And I was listening to a classical composer called Gorecki, and he has a track called Symphony of Sorrowful Songs, Suite 3. And I found it the most devastating piece of music. So I would oscillate between that and the Spaghetti Western soundtrack of the Badass Drifter. Um, and then Alice Coltrane, I listen to her probably the most, is probably my biggest inspiration musically. Is John Coltrane's wife, Alice Coltrane, probably had the biggest impact to me if I look at the overall arc of my life. Um, so yeah, I think music is always going to play a part. So when I write and create, it's I think as I've got older, it's again it sounds really obnoxious, but it's that attempt to create to connect with the creator
Hmm. Yeah.
through the some of these comics. Um, and how does that sound, and how um, as mortal beings trying to connect, oh, and also being disappointed, and losing faith and then finding it again, and those types of things are massively important to me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Because I am also a lover of music and I cosplay, and I was like, how can I combine the two when I feel like I just find music and kind of create
Right.
moods around the character to kind of like match the music and
Mhm.
the vibes of the music and things like that. So I found that that's been working for me. And it's really cool because it's kind of like bridging the gap a little bit, you know? People who like music are now looking at my cosplays and are now thinking that cosplay is cool because it's connected to
Mhm.
a piece of music. And it's just kind of interesting that all it takes is like connecting different pieces of art for, people to just appreciate them, a little bit
100%.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, your musical selection always is, it's like, oh shit, I want to fight. I don't know, it's with especially the Niobe shit. I'm like, where's my sword? Who the fuck? What's going on? Ready to throw down. Although I don't know if I could manage throwing down anymore at my age, but could I have ever? But no, you have a rocking musical selection. It's interesting, actually. I should send you some of the tracks that just really, you know, have inspired me massively on this journey. Yeah, and also being a hip hop head, like, and obviously folks in the chat know that we do a lot of hip hop inspired covers. Recently, we did the Outcast cover. I know Outcast is your jam.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so fresh and so clean and all that good shit. Like, yeah, we did the Biggie, we did Low End Theory, Tribe, Midnight
Mm.
Marauders, Tribe. We're actually working, and I was hoping to have it ready by the third. Well, before I was hoping to do it. It's actually working on it before. It's actually the De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising, and then Dove, the True Boy, passed away. Like, and it just blew, wrecked me, because I would say De La Soul was probably my biggest hip hop musical inspiration, or felt that I could relate to the most as a a young guy growing up, being
Mhm.
nerdy and quirky and a bit different. I mean, I was a
Mhm.
huge Public Enemy head. That was also my other shit. Yeah.
It's like alter egos.
Yeah, exactly. The
Like De
duality. It's
De
always
La Soul, the Public Enemy. Yeah,
yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
So
Yeah,
yeah, any more questions? Date says next step is cinematic universe. Yes, absolutely. Working on it. We're working on it.
absolutely. They've already got the storylines down. Like I'm telling you, like there's so much more than just Niobe, and I'm pretty sure like very soon that people will start noticing that and appreciating like
Absolutely.
all this work that has gone into what you do. Like
Thank you.
it's insane. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
darling. Thank you. Yeah, we're at it. We're at it, and you're going to see some more stuff when we're in Seattle.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think that's
Seattle is coming. We got
Seattle's
one day
coming.
left. Got one day.
Freaking
How are
cold.
you holding up, buddy?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I feel bad for my crew tomorrow because I'm not going to be there to, move boxes from, from getting the trucks in the warehouses. We have so many con stories of trucks breaking down and pallets of books going to the wrong warehouse. It's so much. Folks don't know how much drama goes on before the convention starts. And then you're like, hey, everybody, like nothing happened. You're just dying.
Exactly. For
Yeah.
4 days straight, yes.
Yeah. 4 days, 4 days, 4 days solid. Yeah, it's a doozy. But I don't know. It's funny. I feel like I watch everybody in the booth and people that are like 20 years younger than me, like waning. And I don't know if it's the energy boost that I get from people interacting with the work. Eve, so yeah, look, Eve's going to be at Emerald City right there. The
All
drama is wild.
right.
It is. And for Eve, the drama is more wild after the con as well. But for me, I go right to bed. I'm like, I've had my time dancing at the biggest clubs and and all those things. Now I'm like, let me find my way to the hotel room to crawl into bed. You know, but it's also, but just to keep it real, is like um, conventions are how we survive, a huge portion of how we survive as a business. And so for many, many years, um, it would literally be we would need to make a certain amount of money or we're just out of business every single convention. That was for probably 5 years solid. So you have that sense of pressure. So that's why when you saw me at New York Comic Con, like in constant panic, stress mode outside, and then on the floor just being da 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 da, is the PTSD of making sure that cells, it's just we're on 24/7 because for 5 years, every con sometimes, and I would do little shows like it would be like a show where there was only 30 people would show up, and it was at a gymnasium, or it was like whatever I could do every single week. And if we didn't
Mhm.
make enough, we're out of business. So for 5 years solid, that stays with you. And then the pandemic didn't help. What's up, Brandon? What's up, Brandon
Yeah.
Branco? Good to see you, bro. um, so yeah, so it's that stays with me because I always think as an independent, you can always be one step away from slipping back into that sense of comfort, and I'm nowhere in the comfort zone. So
Mhm.
yeah, Emerald City will be once again for me. You'll see me in hyper
And
stress before and after, and a pleasant, charming person during.
I'm just wondering, like, how you maintain, like, what would be your kind of like advice for people who are, I mean, I feel like we're all hustling for something, you know what I
Sure.
mean? So just staying level-headed and focused and kind of in the mindset of getting what you want, because I feel like you do it so well. Like you do it so well. You're aware of like all the struggles and your emotions and all the things happening around you, but then once it's time to get it done, like you get it done. And I'm just wondering, like, what is like your mindset around that?
I think it's discipline, and discipline is more important than talent. Um, you have to stay really, really grounded in the reality and not distracted by someone that has a bigger booth, bigger pockets, more followers. Um, you just have to stay. You just have to. To me, I think if you're gonna succeed while trying to nourish your soul. If it's gonna be an artistic endeavor, if you're gonna fail, financially, artistically, but you're still nourishing your soul. You're still winning.
Right. Yeah.
So a friend of mine who is now a big movie star, we used to do acting together in commercials. He used to watch my son when he was a baby. He's, you know, now in super big movie star. And he used to say to me, like, Seb, would you write and do the shit if no one was reading it, essentially? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, what are you worried about? Because if I don't make it, I'm just going to go back to Texas and just do local school plays and that kind of thing because I like acting. And I think that's kind of the mentality which is lost now. Is most people want to, not most, I would say a lot of people that I know get into comics or get into a certain theme to not for the love of what they get, why they're getting into it, is to either fill a void or because they see things on TV and they think it's like a lottery ticket that's going to help them, and find it's not a financial rescue. That's a big it's just not a reality. So I think just stay make sure whatever you're crafting is gonna nourish your spirit and make you feel good. And like it's like you, Destiny. I mean, you've got a huge following, but you're doing stuff in a way that is very inspiring and it's moving, and you're obviously inspiring others in your creations with your cosplay and the way you craft everything together. It's you know it's excellent. And yeah, that shit is inspiring. I mean, it's because there's always kind of like that there's a lot of cosplayers, there's a lot of folks that do the stuff, and everyone has, I think, their own journey to find. And I never want to knock someone else also for their own reasons, like oh, that person's selling out or that person's doing for this, like, cool, whatever is going to make them feel good within their own spirit. I think that's the move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it.
Don't
Yeah,
do
thank
it.
you.
Don't do it for the dough.
Yeah. We are definitely not doing this for the dough.
Yeah. But what's interesting is like folks that are in the chat, like Eve has been rocking with me at conventions for years now. And Brandon has joined. True Folks has been supporting Stranger Comics for many years. And I think what happens is our fans, I think, are not fans. They're patrons of the arts. They are supporting our art form so we can connect with them, and as much as possible. And I would also say there's other folks that are out there doing their thing. Be wary of the wolves in sheep's clothing, or the arrogance of man, or that just be mindful of the message that's put out there. Don't succumb, and you'll be fine.
Got a little deep for a moment.
Yeah. I was gonna keep going, and I was like, no, Sebastian, stop talking.
No, that's why we're here. That's why we're all here. We're all in the same.
True Folks bought me the best cake I ever had, and it was at a comic. It was at a comic shop. Yeah, True Folks. My man Ahmad has been. He came with his Nino to a comic signing I was doing at Black Star Collectibles, and it was like for my birthday, I think, or not. No, it wasn't my birthday, but he just bought it anyway. But it was the best. It was this best Hennessy cake, and I don't even drink alcohol, but I was like, oh, I might suddenly be into alcohol just because of this cake.
A Hennessy cake?
Yeah, it was. I think it was Hennessy, Ahmad. I can't remember, but it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So yeah. True Folks and the cake plug.
I love it.
The cake plug. I was gonna say something else, but this is a PG show.
Is it a PG show?
It should be. It should be, especially. It's like True Folks and the Cake Plug sounds like a really naughty 80s band, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Hennessy cake. I mean, where can we really go from here? I'm curious now.
It was amazing. Honestly, it was legendary. Yeah, no, and see, Nita and her family, I think they're out in Baltimore. Yeah, and it's amazing going to these cons over these since 2015, and then majorly in 2015, and the first one ever in 2009 is I get to see their kids grow as well. So sometimes I see folks and I'm like, oh my God, this is my girlfriend. Oh my God, you're married. Oh, you're pregnant. Oh, there's kids. So it's it's been a real treat. You know, and now you're a part of it. I mean, it's just this is just beautiful. So that's the stuff that kind of we are stranger family. We are indeed. See, that's the love. I'm just very humbled by it.
I love it. I feel like it never gets old, right?
It doesn't. It doesn't. That's the stuff when things are incredibly difficult, and at times they really are. That
Mm,
yeah, it's tough right now. Things are tough. Tough for everybody.
mm,
So yeah.
yeah. I don't think I have any other like really specific questions. I was going to ask you some this or that questions.
Okay, you can give me some this
Yeah.
or that. We can end on some this,
I'll
this
do
or
I'll
that.
do I'll do like, one or two.
Sure, sure.
Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Well, we'll start easy. We'll start easy. Coffee or tea? You're
Tea,
a coffee guy? Tea guy? Of course.
tea.
Of course
Tea.
you're the tea guy. Yes.
Love,
Cheers.
love some tea.
What
Cheers.
what kind of tea is it? What
This
kind of
is
tea?
this is PG Tips, and this is a British tea. And shout out to Celeste Cornish. I see you in Seattle, my love. The Cornishes are legends, absolute legends. Everyone in the chat are Stranger Comics legends now. But the Cornishes are like some OGs right there.
Let's go
Um,
OGs.
OGs. So the tea is PG tips. So we always say just the tips.
Of course you do.
But of course. So yeah, so PG tips is going on right now. PG tips with some honey and some milk, and it's it's delicious.
All right. I'm gonna have to find some. I have to find some.
It's life
Okay.
changing.
Let's see. Okay. I feel like this is a good one because you've always had like a full head of hair for, I mean, as long as I've known you, and in all the older pictures, I feel like it's been even bigger. And I've seen your son's hair, so I feel like hair is a thing. Hair
Here's
is a
the
thing
thing.
in this
By the way,
family.
I
Yes.
love your haircut. It's
Uh,
absolutely beautiful. You look
Thank you.
amazing.
Yes, I feel free.
You
I
look
feel like I
amazing.
cut it at the wrong time because it's winter. So my my head is freezing all the time. I'm like, okay, I gotta invest in some hats, but no regrets. Thank
It
you.
suits you.
Okay, so lose all your hair or your sense of smell.
Oh, lose my hair. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah. No, I'm when it comes to scent is a very important thing. It's
Mhm.
it's high on the list. It's high on the list. I remember really fancying a girl, and then we hugged. I didn't fancy her anymore.
Oh,
Is that bad? I can't believe I
from
just
a
said that.
touch?
From the scent.
Oh, from the scent. Oh, was it a bad scent?
It wasn't. It was just not compatible scent.
Hmm.
So scent
Okay,
is
he's
massively,
going
yeah.
he's
Scent is,
going primal on that one. He's like,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know what it was. I just didn't.
yeah. No, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I actually, I remember my sister had a boy. She had a date, and she said he is bald headed kid, and I was like, all right, tell that fucker to bring some clippers. He can shave my head and see how steady his hand is. So I made this poor boy shave my head as his initiation, and he was so nervous. He here he
Oh
just dug
no.
into my neck. Yeah, but no, so I've been bald, and I'm just kind of lazy.
He's like, it's just growth. It has a
It
mind
just
of its
it just
own. It does its own
yes.
thing. I don't know. Sometimes I
Yes.
forget it's there. Okay. So then we'll turn it into a battle of the senses
Okay. And one thing
then.
before you, just one last thing before that, because Quincy said this. He was like at New York Comic Con because you were there.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
said I was walking into the booth and Quincy was like, "Who the fuck's that homeless guy coming to the?" Oh, it's Seb. So, so he,
It'd be your own friends.
is it right? So he's always very concerned about my presentation. He's like, you're still a good-looking dude, and we can make even more sales if you actually put some effort into your presentation. And yeah, it's been a bit of a theme amongst my friends and loved ones. So yes, the hair is just not thought of. It's just grows and they go, oh yeah, I better cut it, and then goes again. So.
Are you showing up to Emerald City with like a clean cut, slick back with a suit and tie? Is that?
I'm probably gonna be turning up in a grey t-shirt. Sorry, a black t-shirt, a grey sweater. No, yeah, I just no. I'm not the best at it. But yes, yeah, no, I will not be wearing anything. I just can't. Yeah, it sucks. I wish I had more, more care for fashion. I just don't think about
If you don't, then you don't, you know? If it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve you.
it.
I mean, it is what it is. So then we'll say, lose your sense of smell or your sense of touch then.
Oh yeah, it'd have to the scent would have to go. I got
Well, then maybe that girl could have stayed, you know? You
maybe
lost
so.
your sense of smell.
Maybe so. It's true. Scent is a big one.
Mhm.
I just dropped an octave. I think scent is a big one. Yeah,
Scent is a big one.
scent is a big one.
He went into his Miles Morales, hey, hand on the shoulder. That little moment there. I love it. There were a couple of people asking
Well,
for this and that. I was wondering. No, I thought I saw it. I guess not. I guess
Oh, I
not.
thought she was an only child. I'm not. Missy says top or bottom. Wait, what? Oh,
Yeah,
come
that's
the
what I was looking at. Is all of
what?
Misty's comments. I was seeing the boxers and briefs. That
That's hilarious. Okay, so boxer briefs. I don't know. I've actually got both with me. I don't actually care. That's terrible.
that's
I just
interesting.
I'll wear whatever someone buys me. I'm sunrise or sunsets. I like. Ooh, I think I'd probably sunset.
Sunset.
Yeah. Top or bottom. I'd like to say top because otherwise that's very revealing. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, yeah.
Okay, I have another one. Would you
Top or
rather have
bottom.
a time machine or a teleporter?
So go back in time or go forward.
Yeah, go back or forward in time.
I would say go back in time. I'd say go
Back
back
in
in
time.
time. Yeah, I think I want
Hmm.
to hang out in the '60s for a bit. I want to go back into the '30s. Like, what is that? The sound. I think it's just the music. I think it all comes back to music for me that I can actually. Holy shit! I could go to
A concert.
Woodstock, or I could go to, be in New Orleans when Louis Armstrong's. I mean, like what? I mean, yeah, I'd fucking yes, yeah, go back in time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And then I think my last question will be, have you ever considered cosplaying any of these characters, like in all this world building that you do and all these characters that you write? Have you ever thought like, hey, I might
Yeah,
wanna.
I for sure. Well, I used to live action role play a
Oh, did
lot.
you?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's how it all started. And just funny comment here. I just see Nita's like he'll wear whatever someone buys, and then Missy's like, I just saw a lovely pair of black panties.
What? Who? Who's Black Panties? We need answers. I need answers.
Um, I'd wear them well too, to be honest. But no, I used to do. I The oldest live action role playing club is a thing called Labyrinth in Chislehurst Caves in England, Kent. And I used to do that when I was 12, 13, all the way till until I left to come to America. And then I started hosting live action role playing games in the world of Asunda till about just over 10 years ago, I think. And I used to take people out into the woods and beat them up with rubber, like the sword that I sent you is a live action role playing weapon. So yeah, I used to role play. I used to dress up, funnily enough, as Scarlock from Erathune, the Stranger from the Untamed. So I've cosplayed, but actually, you know, whack people over the head with swords as these characters in the rules that I've made up, you know, in live action role playing scenarios. So there's, if you want, if you guys want, I could actually show the live action role playing video right now.
Right now?
Right now, I actually have it on here. Some of
Do
you guys,
it. No questions.
some of you
Roll
guys
clip.
seen this already. So here we go. All right. Okay. Well, here we go. Here's a bit of live action role playing for you. Here we are. Ready? You get it? And here we go.
Asunda, a vast all of the world born from the mother dragons, steeped in magic and myth. A world where phantom dreams become reality. Asunda, where heroes are born and legends are forged. From the four corners they will come, some in search of riches, others for glory. Wizard and warrior, elf and beast. Which one are you?
Child of the sun, you dare to enter my realm? What game is it you play? I see you. In the wondrous world of Asunda. Who else do you seek, great wizard? Ah yes, the Blue Dragon Inn, a veritable source of excitement and intrigue. 'Tis here that friendships are born. Who, in search of adventure, will be quick to find it?
By Material's bid, you lost.
I want to show you a trick, Rendell.
By Material's bid, that can't be.
You are mine, dwarf. Soon you will need a bit of
I sense something. What do you sense? Galachum Shimlock Desu Delicacha. Is it the great black dragon? I am the devourer of dragons. Ah, I want another ale. Make that two.
Ventu Spiritus. Come to me, spirit. Arise. 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 Slay my enemies. Take revenge for me. Go!
still. Asunda. 'Tis a vast, volatile world born of the mother dragon Isu, steeped in magic and myth. You herald from a distant land where all seems bleak and phantom dreams are but a memory cast to the devouring shadows. You come in search of a quest most grand for the bards to spin tales of splendor in a place whispered Asunda. Asunda, home to the mighty warrior, powerful wizard. You come in search of riches, you come in search of glory. For here, the very forces of good and evil wage war for the soul of the land. Since the fall of Yggdrasil, at the dawn of time, the great realm teeters on the brink of doom. Asunda, where heroes are born and legends are forged.
That just made my whole day. Like, that's hilarious. I think that the whole Stranger Comics gang should get together and we should like totally recreate this masterpiece. Like, why not? Seriously.
Well, I got the weapons, you know. I might need some updated help with the costumes, and but yeah, I mean,
Let's
honestly,
do it. Let's
that'd be
do it.
amazing. I mean, honestly, with these characters, to redo this with our current characters would be incredible.
Ooh, let's do it. No, seriously. I know a plan for the future though, because you know you got a lot of stuff going on right now. Got a whole year ahead of you, but might be something to think about.
So yeah, so yes, I've dressed up.
Yeah,
That
that's awesome.
was-
More than dressed up. That's awesome.
So yeah, a lot of LARPing back in the days. A lot of LARPing. That was my whole world. I would do LARPing on one weekend, and then I would be in Crenshaw dancing in the circle on the next weekend. I would alternate. But those are my two lives. It's so much. Those are my two worlds. Was yeah, throwing down on the dance floor or wielding a sword. You know.
Honestly, yes. Balance. Way of life.
Yeah,
Gotta figure it out. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I have no other questions for you if you want to close out some closing statements.
Some closing
Got any-
statements. Well, just huge thank you to you. You know, for you know interviewing me. You know, on Monday before the con, and just everyone obviously in the chat. Just huge thank you, of course, to all you lovely people. This Thursday, we might be just doing a bit of IG stuff. It won't be on YouTube again this Thursday because we'll be at the con. But yes, definitely share the video, subscribe, all that kind of cool shit. Our next Kickstarter is going to be amazing. We've got a whole bunch of new comics coming out, new storylines. Super psyched for that. And yeah, just thank you as always. Just love you guys very much. Very much appreciated.
Okay, thank you. And are we live streaming the panel, perhaps?
Oh shit, that's a good idea.
I can do that.
You can, yeah,
I can
maybe.
do that.
Wow,
So maybe instead of doing the Thursday, we could just do it.
a live stream from the panel.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, let's figure that shit out. That's
Oh.
smart. I love that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, maybe you guys will catch us at a live stream at the panel.
Sounds good. Yeah, live stream panel 3:45 on Saturday. 3:45 Saturday. That's brilliant. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on, Sebastian. Like, you're
Of course.
literally mind blowing. I feel like I learned something insane every single time I speak to you. So it's always fun. And yeah, we should do this more often.
Thank you. Oh, and then Celeste, the panel is Saturday, 3:45 room. I don't remember what, but it will be. What's up, Chris? You'll be there. That's awesome. It is, I don't remember the name of the room, but it'll be on the flyers. And it's on the last newsletter too. If you guys checked out the last newsletter, and obviously we'll put it in the socials as well. So yeah, huge thank you, everybody. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Celeste, you're going to be there. Chris is going to be there. Yeah. And then True Folks, are you guys going to be, the documentary, we're going to kickstart a documentary, so stay tuned for that. And True Folks, you're going to be at WonderCon. So folks that are going to be at WonderCon, that's in Anaheim. And Tahani Farr is we're flying her out for that. So Tahani Farr, we have the new WonderCon exclusive of Dusu is going to be the WonderCon exclusive. So if you guys are in LA or San Diego,
Ooh, San Diego!
come to WonderCon. It's going to be a great con. So yeah. But yeah, that's what's cooking, a lot more podcasty things we're working on. So fun stuff.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Destiny. Yeah, I appreciate you very much. Yeah.
Have a good night. And in a few days, we'll be in Seattle.
See you in Seattle. We'll be sleepless in Seattle for real. What's up, David? What's up, bro? Good to see you, bro. See you at Emerald City. See you at WonderCon. See you at San Diego. And I'm trying to see about Phoenix, Motor City in Detroit, Schaumburg in Harlem, and LA Festival of Books as well. So a lot of stuff coming up. So yeah. All right, guys.
Awesome. Bye.
Peace out, everybody. Good night. Be safe. Good night.